Hello, welcome to Store Stories. Every Friday, I want to do just a weird story of people I've had to deal with my long career working at a grocery store. Yeah, this is the first episode of the weekly format, so I might be stumbling and repeating myself a lot. So we'll see what happens with this weekly format. Anyway, quite some time ago, I came across a rather disappointing factoid. It's something I really didn't want to believe because it hurt physically, emotionally. It was just very disappointing. It was just so heart crushing and soul searing. The rumor is that the self checkout lanes are programmed for a third grade reading level. I had a hard time confirming this rumor because, well, one, I kept forgetting to look it up. I'd have a rather frustrating day, and it's like, these are programmed for little kids to read, but and then I'd get home and that's just long gone. By the time I get home, that thought process has been long gone. So, and when I did remember to look it up, I would look up stuff like self-checkout reading level, or what reading level is a self-checkout, and never really got any kind of relevant answer. It just come across like people learning how to read, or this is what a self-checkout is, or something like that. Nothing really to say what has anybody looked up a reading level of a self-checkout lane. Eventually I came across this website where you can look up, where you can type in words and sentences, and it'll say what kind of reading level that word or sentence would belong in. I think I might link that in the description below if you're interested in looking up what. I think that can be an addictive site to look up and see what how things think might be an interesting or a complex word might not be all that complex or challenging. Comes up with a couple of questions, so it might be some interesting video ideas. But anyway, I did type in some lines from the self-checkout line into that site.
You just remembered it offhand like that?
Well, if you're forced to listen to something several hundred times, 5 or 6 days a week, you'll start picking up on it. Yeah, the thing is though, the instructions on the self-checkout didn't show up as a third grade reading level.
What grade did they fill in?
Really? They are programmed so a second grader can read and understand them.
Those things are just far too complicated. I just can't figure out how those darn things work. Do you not know how to read? Have you not received any schooling whatsoever? The level of education necessary to run these machines is kindergarten, first grade, second grade. You're the third year into your schooling year, and you should know how to follow these instructions on how to do this. But I keep running into grown adults. Oh, that thing's just too complicated for me to understand how to run it. I just can't figure out those darn machines. Are you seriously that stupid? Yes, I do get it. Not everyone wants to run the self-checkout lane. I get it. You don't have to run self-checkout. If you prefer to go to a register where someone rings you up, go to a register where someone rings you up. Heck, I'll ring you up at self-checkout. If you don't want to run self-checkout and you say you run self-checkout, I'll run it for you. I'll ring you up through the line myself. I'll do it for you, no problem. I would appreciate the honesty of you telling me that you don't want to do it because you don't want to do it. That's fine. I would appreciate that over I'm too stupid to run the machine that's programmed for a freaking 7-year-old kid. And if you claim that the self-checkout is just too complicated for you to figure out how to run it, well, you look kind of like
Like a retard.
hell, that excuse doesn't even work, because people with mental handicaps, they can run the machine just fine. I'm not trying to be disrespectful of the disabled here, but people that can barely walk and they can barely talk, they can run the self-checkout. Not a problem, not a hesitation. Then you'll get doctors and lawyers that will come through I just can't figure out how to do the darn machine. That's too complicated for me. You'll have children barely knee high come through the self checkout. They're stretched up to push the buttons on the monitor, but they'll follow instructions, run the thing just fine. And then you'll get people staring at the machine, all confused, not sure what to do. They're standing there staring at the machine, ready to pay. What do I do? Well, you push the Pay Now button. Well, how do I push the Pay Now? What's a Pay Now button? It's the button with the $ on it. And do you have any idea of how many people have looked me straight in the face, and said, "What's a $?" Are you being serious? You don't know what a $? Is? The international, very closely, the international sign for money is the $. Yeah, I know there's other currencies out there, but if you drop out of the sky and land in a country, you'll know what a $. Is. Basic level of education is all that's required. That and a little bit of paying attention. I think that's the key. No one can pay attention to the world around them. They're just kind of through life. But paying attention? Why would I have to pay attention to the world around me? I don't know. And they can't say they hate self-checkout because they're using the self-checkout. And they want to use the self-checkout by themselves, so they're using the self-checkout by themselves. They just can't figure it out when it's programmed for a 2nd grade reading level. It's not even 3rd grade reading level, which was the rumor. It's like, that hurt right here when it's programmed for an 8-year-old, and an 8-year-old can run this in theory without a hitch, without a problem. But grown-ass adults, they're just lost. They can't follow those instructions. But anyway, that's enough of a ramble tonight. Yeah, every Friday I'm gonna try to post these rant videos. They'll probably mostly rant videos, but yeah, I have a good long list of to-dos on this store stories thing. So I'm hoping this is gonna take off and have a lot of fun with it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, favorite, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And have a good night.